Let's talk now to Mike Jones, Executive Director of Migration Watch UK, which campaigns for lower immigration to the United Kingdom. Mike, are you in favour of the barge?
In principle, yes. I think the government has a responsibility to house asylum seekers in alternative forms of accommodation to relieve the burden on the taxpayer. I mean, the Bibby Stockholm has been in operation since the 1970s. As your reporter said, it's housed asylum seekers in Rotterdam. It's housed homeless people in Hamburg. It's been used
And
to
yet,
provide.
Mike, it was used to house 222 people. That number has been more than doubled to 500. So there are concerns about capacity.
Well, they housed a significant number of people off the coast of Scotland, off the Shetland Islands. Of course, I think the barge needs to abide by health and safety and fire regulations. That goes without saying. And the onboarding was delayed due to fire safety concerns. But presumably the government has dotted all its I's and crossed all its T's, and it's okay to go.
They repeatedly say, the government, that this is better value for the British taxpayer, but they haven't actually said, Mike, how much it costs to house an asylum seeker on board. Do you believe that this represents better value?
Well, sort of intuitively, it makes sense that it would represent better value than housing somebody in a 4 or 5-star hotel. I mean, the statistics are quite stark. You've got nearly well over 50,000 asylum seekers housed in subsidized accommodation. This costs the taxpayer about 6 million a day. The asylum system itself costs about 3.6 billion every year, and that doubled on the previous year. So obviously the government needs to find these alternative means of accommodation.
There are many who have written a letter, though, to the government, to the owner of the barge too, saying they believe it is cruel and inhumane. And the BBC has spoken to one asylum seeker, and I want to tell you what he has said. He said, "We ran from a war. We don't want to go onto the barge. It's a jail."
Well, no, it isn't, because they're allowed to come and go as they please. It isn't a jail. They have, ensuite rooms, access to communal areas, laundry services provided, catering services. There are primary healthcare services available on the barge. So, I mean, this isn't a conventional prison. And at the end of the day, there are probably exceptional cases where some of these people are genuine asylum seekers, but many of them clearly are illegal economic migrants who have paid organized criminal gangs vast sums of money to be here, and they've spent a considerable amount of time outside of their home country, and they could have claimed asylum in
well,
France.
Their claims are being looked into at the moment, which is why they are being housed on the barge. Mike, thank you very much for joining us, Mike Jones.
Cheers.